Alright, welcome back to some more Scarlet Hollow, guys. Kanika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, don't you remember? And hello, you two. Hope you're both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom, it's just that Stella's missing and Stella can take care of herself. Unlike you need bed rest and a lot of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. Thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Alex about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to him. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I really should lie down. Bye, Alex. Oh, she's not interested at all. Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. And I'm sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Alex and I could do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. You're right. I've totally left her on her own today. Bye by me. I wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those tea leaves are very particular. Oh, but before I go, I did want to ask, are you a witch? You know, as flattered as I am that you think that I'm magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave y'all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Alex. Yes, indeed. I shall see you later. They make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Shall. Simple motions towards the tea room. Boom. Oh, maybe. There we go. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. Only a sliver of sunlight is able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright glow lights over the plant in the corner. What? Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. Really? I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? It's that tea that gave us super energy. Excuse me. Here. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did. Though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect, I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like her great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. So why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. Whoa, that's really depressing. So I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Do they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stewart or something just as unforgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older. And I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she had been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced that she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had been something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me is stuck in my mind. Always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. So what do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I'll take a sip of my tea. Lol. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. Nice. So, how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. Really. I'm gonna finish the tea instead of being rude. Close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. Tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empty, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Unless you're mistaken, the tea has also helped with your condition, at least a little bit. You still feel aged and worn, but you're a little less tired and a little mentally sharper than you were a few minutes ago. Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of the cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty. And the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy, lurking in plain sight. Really? Oh, this is creepy. How do I know you're not? Oh, the cat's gotta be a pixel, or maybe it's Frofro. Those are the two cats I know. Dear, it's not a literal cat. It's a symbol for an enemy lurking in plain sight. Probably a human enemy, but almost certainly not a cat. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard, and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know for the ditchlings that something terrible is coming our way, or coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we could try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stone carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely that they have something to do with this. Till the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Yeah, that's the only one I can think of is the clinic. Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is that finally seeing what is in the clinic. But bad stuff always happens around them. What happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what could happen if we let the danger encroaching on both of you and this town act unopposed. The ditchlings are multiplying every day. This is all going to come to a head, and it may be a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can could save your life, even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. Really. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have troubles with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I had been the one in the mines with you. Some use I had been. Struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. No, that was helpful. Thanks, I'll let you know if I find anything. Because now I know that someone is looking for us and trying to sabotage us. I don't think it's Avery, Kanika, or Stella. So, I also don't think it's Duke or Bo, because they haven't done anything. It could be the cops. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Glad to hear it. I'm glad I was able to help. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. I also don't think it's Sybil. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. That's why she didn't want anyone to come in either, in case they're a cat and they decided to attack me. That makes sense. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. It could be Avery. They were locked in that thing in there. Why would I talk to Miles? I have nothing to do with that kid. We'll check in on Kanika first. You make your way upstairs. Yeah, I think that's nice. Knock, knock, knock. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a bit. I'm not your mom. I need to talk to you. It's important. Oh, hey. Sorry, Alex. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. Oh, looks like we're on our own. You know what? Fair enough. You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic. It's secret, enticing you to find a way in. The only one I'm suspicious of is Kelly. But to be fair, I'm not that suspicious of her. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. Like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits the compulsive frequency. It's time for your checkup. Yeah, sadly. Even with the damage done to your body, you could probably jump onto the terrace without much difficulty. We have a choice to make here. I'm letting Reese know that we're here. You cautiously approach the house, kneeling next to the low basement windows of Reese's room. You knock. There's no one in there. Reese must be somewhere else. Really? I'm gonna convince her. I really am. You already have an appointment. You might as well just walk into the clinic and see her. You figure out the rest of your investigation later. That's what I'm saying. You open the door to the clinic and it creaks loudly on its hinges. The interior feels surprisingly modern compared to its exterior, though you can still glimpse the ornate bones in the building peeking through its decorative molding and overly complicated banister lining the stairway. You feel the odd sensation again, the nagging pull, whatever it was that wanted you to find it. Hello, Kelly. But before he can drag you far into the clinic, Dr. Kelly puts aside her paperwork and makes her way down the hall. Her expression is still as exasperated as ever, despite the fact that she's the one who asked you to take time out of your day to come here. You made it. Good. The exam room is just this way. You don't need a doctor's appointment. You just need to find whatever's been calling you here. I'm not going to try to push past her. That's rude. Wait, I felt something pulling at me. I should go find it. The only thing pulling at anyone here is the mystery of what happened to your body that made you look like you aged overnight. The exam room is just to your right. The doctor directs you down a hallway, and you follow her into the clinic's exam room. I'm just going to start with some general diagnostics, but I'd like to also do some blood work today, if you're amenable to that. She presses the cold metal of her stethoscope onto your chest. That's funny, I'm scared of needles, but I'm a big buff boy in this. How much longer do I have? That's funny. I'm asking you about Stella. You haven't heard from Stella yet, right? She briefly removes the stethoscope from your chest. She's still missing? I haven't seen her. I'll make sure to check with Reese. I know he hears from her pretty frequently. But let's finish this up first. She places the stethoscope on your chest. Why are you suddenly being so nice to me? It's easier to be nice to people when I'm not worried about them making my son ill. And you're just here for a checkup. Fair. You just do what you want to do. You quietly let Dr. Kelly work. Have you always had a heart murmur? No doctor has ever said you had one. Huh. Before you can answer, she attaches a blood pressure cuff to your arm, inflating it with a quick few pumps of the bulb. The ends of your fingers tingle numbly as the cuff constricts. I'm supposed to live forever. Ha, that's funny. I'm going to die. That is bad. Is that bad? So, it is new. I suppose you could have developed it at any point since your last checkup, but it is something that happens with age. Though, developing one overnight, along with new wrinkles and gray hair, is not something that happens. Pressure on your arm finally releases. Blood rushes back into your fingerprints. Blood pressure is fine, though. It's higher than I expect for someone with your level of fitness. Let me know if you feel any pain. She leans over you, using her forefingers to prod your abdomen. She steadies you with a gentle hand on your shoulder. Can we flirt right now? Because she's touching me? No, just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, we can. How are my abs looking? Not bad, right? No. Have you noticed any ditchlings yet? Maybe I've seen some weird things outside the windows. I don't know what they are, but I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. But there's definitely some weird stuff going on around town that defies logic. You're proof enough of that. Ooh, we're convincing her. Alright, let's ask her this too. Hey, I'm interested in your thoughts on the folks around town. Really don't need to do small talk. What did you think of Pearl Ann? Small talk it is, then. Vivian and I used to joke that she was the evil twin, though I'm not sure you could call it a joke if it's just true. Sorry, I really shouldn't speak ill of the dead. So do you know Sybil well? I know her as well as anybody else. She's yet another resident of Scarlet Hollow who should really come to see me more often, but she has her own ideas about health. She seems to think that drinking a gallon of tea a day will grant her immortality. Sure, I'll be seeing more of her when she realizes that that's not the case. So did you know my mom? I did. We were friends growing up. She was sarcastic but nice. I like that about her. A hell of a lot more pleasant to be around than her sister. You know any history about my family? Of course I do. Folks around here know all about important myths about your family. The whole bootstraps thing with Silas, the founding of the town by the mighty Andrew J. Scarlet, and of course the big collapse in the evil Charles Shaw gets all the blame. Family is a big deal in this town. Of course I know about that. Only as much as anyone else, though. I'm not really into local history. Actually, I do need to know. Do you have something against me? Oh, I made her feel bad. The doctor sighs and you feel the jabs to your torso getting a little softer. Yeah, people tell me that. I'm a brusque person. It's just part of who I am. I don't mean to come off as rude. Plus, Stella and Kanika showing up with you in tow, man, I have to be a tough parent and turn you all away. I hate having to do that. Probably made me feel even pricklier than I needed to be. In my defense, I'm just being protected. Reese's health is at a difficult point and probably will be for the rest of his life. It means I have to be more strict than I'd like. But I'm sorry I let that impact the way I've spoken to you. I'll try to be more thoughtful. What the heck? No one in my life talks like that. That's actually nice. I'd like to know more about the clinic. Well, it was an old hospital during the Civil War. Boom, boom, boom. Red, red, red. Radar's going off. Then one of those clean air clinics. Okay. Then, around the time of the collapse, it was converted back into a hospital, but it lost most of its funding as people left town, so now it's just a doctor's office. With an astronomical heating bill. All the massive windows and glass doors make this an icebox in the winter. What happened here after Shaw Mine? Hold up. Sounds like it'd be Ghost City. Seen any? No. Neither has Reese, so don't try to weasel your way into seeing him again under the guise of asking him if he's seen any dead soldiers or miners or whatever. Why would I actually... If there were to be a big stone carving somewhere hidden in a clinic, where would that be? Let's change the subject for now. We'll come back to that. I really appreciate you looking out for me, Doc. No problem. Just doing my job. I'd feel negligent if I saw someone go through what you've gone through and didn't step in, even if there's not much I can do to help. I'd like to check out your lungs. Can you breathe into this for me? Make sure you keep a tight seal on it. You place the mouthpiece against your lips. Now blow out hard and keep blowing until you're out of air, okay? You do your best. You can tell your lungs aren't quite what they used to be. Okay. Yeah, that's what I expect given everything else. Again, I don't have data from before, but by judging by your age and what I'm able to tell from a quick once over, it's looking like you're the equivalent of at least a decade older, and not a good decade. I'm guessing the blood work is gonna show about the same. She goes to a drawer and retrieves a needle. Ugh, I hate needles IRL, for real. Am I gonna wind up some research guinea pig now? Are you gonna write papers about me? I don't know if I want to get blood work done. Whoa, no needles. Are you sure? It's probably a good idea to get blood work done when you've gone through something that did so much damage to your body. My blood will explode at you like in the thing. Fuck it. Put that needle in me. You barely feel it, I promise. I hope she's not poisoning me. I'm kind of scared. You definitely feel it. She was lying. Or she was wrong. But it doesn't last long. The needle slides back. I gotta take a second. Puts a cotton ball into the tiny hole in your skin. Pasting a band-aid over top to seal in your vital juices. Ugh. I don't like reading that. There, see? That's all we had to do. Not bad at all. I'm tensing up, man. I really am. Alright, that's all we can do for now. I'll make sure to notify you when I get the results, and I'll send them to your GP. You do have a regular doctor back home, right? Of course I do. Good. They're in for a shock when you get back home, that's for sure. You're free to go. Know how to find the door. No! Okay, she starts busying herself with cleaning up her equipment. She'll be distracted for at least a few minutes. Good, your appointment is done, and you're free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore. Free, in quotations, to explore. Yep, we're being drawn to the dark doorway. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Oh, he's alive. Jesus Christ, I thought you were dead. Alex? He squints, seemingly unsure whether you're the same person he met yesterday. What are you doing in the morgue? Hi! Yeah, what are you doing in the morgue? I'm sure it looks weird. It's not like I expected anyone to come down here. I was just, you know, practicing. A rehearsal, if you will. Reese, what the fuck, dude? Not gonna lie, it's kind of weird, dude. I see being among the dead brings you comfort. Rehearse? Yeah, I know that's rude, but like, you're the one who just wandered into a morgue. Its words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance. Your eyes wander back to the wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. I'm going. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under the palms. Hey, are you okay? Feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder. For a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens his pull. Kind of look possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Why wall? Need see thing, but wall standing in the way. We are possessed a little bit. There's some kind of magic shit going on, man, but it's telling me I need to get behind that wall. He wasn't there with us, so he's not gonna understand that. There's a stone carving on the other side of that wall, and I need to see it. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you say you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dock out of your hair. Should take 2 secs. With fist. No, because I'm going to hurt myself. Yes, I will destroy the wall. We're getting very fucking possessed up. Yeah, how so? Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. Most of the time it's true anyway. That's sad. I feel bad for you. How'd you learn that little trick? Well, when you're a teenager whose doctor mom won't leave you alone for 2 seconds, you learn how to make it happen. I mean, that's fair. Everyone needs some space. Sounds great. Lead the way. Sweet. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. Fair enough. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. Looks like we're all out, though. Really, I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked. The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in his place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you. And with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is. Though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doctor's office first. You make your way to the doorway of the now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinet full of medical supplies. Something on the desk does catch your eye, though. Some sort of records with your family's name on them. Read. Reed stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? Their family's death certificates. Whoa. Oh my god, my stomach hurts so bad. We will read these next time, though, and then get to that seal. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Peace.